Good evening. This is a meeting of the Township Committee, January 21st, 2020. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Two Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 10, 2020. Committeeman Hybel.
Here.
Committeeman Sanbrino.
Here.
Committeewoman Snell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Here.
Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. Our first item on tonight's agenda, we have a life-saving award presented to Robert Clancy. This time, I'd like to invite Mr. Clancy to please come forward.
So, for those of you who don't know, wow, this is quite the entourage, man. That's like Ozzy. That's right. I first want to obviously welcome everybody. Happy New Year to everyone that wasn't here for our reorg meeting. But these are the great days. The great days that the township gets to honor great people. And I've said it time and time again over the last 12 months that I've served as mayor, that every time I come into a different circumstance, a different situation, it's always wonderful to meet the new people that you come in contact with, to have conversations with different people from different perspectives, from different parts of their life. And today we're here to honor a great man, a man who showed above all else what it means to be not only a great person, but a great neighbor and a great friend. Mr. Clancy here, for those of you who don't know, was taking out those that big blue recycling bin, right? And was pulling that to the curb when he realized that his neighbor's house, who was a disabled veteran, his house was on fire. And despite the danger that was going to bring upon him potentially, Mr. Clancy went into that home and ensured the safety of his neighbor and pulled him to safety. And without your swift actions, a tragedy was prevented. So, Mr. Clancy, on behalf of the Township Committee, I want to present you with our Life-Saving Valor Award, and it states this: Robert Clancy, in recognition of running into your neighbor's burning home on December 18, 2019, to ensure his safety, may your swift, selfless, and heroic actions inspire fellow citizens to go above and beyond to help others. Presented on this, the 21st day of January 2020. Signed, Mayor Perry. And its most important is that he is also a Middletown and fellow Belford. Really quick, I actually we're fortunate enough to have with us tonight, and I thought it was a very, I can't take credit for it actually. I have to give credit to our Public Information Office and invite up our current Fire Chief, Russ Mount, our Head of Fire Prevention, Buddy Skelly, and our 2019 Chief, Steve Schweitzer. Very quickly, come on up, to talk about the importance and obviously everyone's procedures that they should be doing. Obviously, Clancy doesn't need any. But the importance of obvious obviously, smoke detectors and fire safety in the home. So, Chief.
First of all, thank you. Yes, cannot stress the importance of smoke detectors in a home and carbon monoxide detectors. And to have some type of safety plan when they do go off, that you're out, so you can get out with your family, have a point in place to meet to get out. So again, from personal experience with smoke detectors, cannot stress enough the importance of them and what they can do for you and your home.
I brought a demo, guys. I don't know if you can see it from that far away. This was a house fire we had in Middletown. This is actually a working smoke detector. This was found after the fire was out. It still works. So smoke detectors do work and save lives, and they can take a beat. Middletown, we participate in a Channel 7 Save a Life smoke detector program. If anybody needs them, if you're low income, you can contact my office. We will be sure to get you a smoke detector in your home. Also this year, what I'm going to institute with the mayor and the committee is working on carbon monoxide detector program for the residents of Middletown. Any questions, please call fire prevention. No question is a dumb question. Call my office. I'll be more than glad to answer any questions you guys have.
So again, Mr. Clancy, we want to thank you for the swift action and truly saving a life. It really inspires not only myself and members of the Township Committee, but I hope it inspires all of our residents across town. So thank you very much again.
Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have the 2019 Distinguished Citizen of the Year Award presented to Dennis Beauregard.
I know. So, for those of you who don't know this man right here, I just call him the Colonel because there's no point calling him anything else. But Dennis Beauregard, from the moment I got onto the Township Committee, and even before that, I've known to not only be one of the most honorable men and residents of this great town, but somebody who not only served his country during the war in Viet Nam, but continues to serve even today. Dennis is at everything. And I'm going to read this Distinguished Citizen Award, but I got to tell you, there are few and far between. I feel the emotion coming through, but there are great people in this world, and Dennis Beauregard is one of those great people. And there is not a person that he won't take a dollar out of his own pocket to ensure that another veteran has just a little bit easier life. And every day I go around, and today I was at River Plaza Elementary, which I think is where your grandsons go. And two of the greatest guys right there. Runs in the family, the genes. But I was at River Plaza School and I talked about leadership. And I talked about leadership and the importance of it in young people. And if we had people like Dennis Beauregard everywhere, this world would be an even greater place. So I'm going to read this really quick. And I know it's a long one, but he deserves it. Distinguished Citizen of the Year Award. The Middletown Township Committee presents this certificate to Dennis Beauregard. This prestigious award is hereby bestowed upon Dennis Beauregard, a passionate advocate for veterans and their families in our community and across the state of New Jersey. Mr. Beauregard has been the president of the Viet Nam Veterans of America Chapter 12 for 26 years and was the state president for 4 years. He has been an active member of the VFW Post 2179 for 34 years and has charged a multitude of committees. An original member of the all-volunteer Middletown Veterans Affairs Committee, Mr. Beauregard spearheaded a number of projects, such as creating a contact list of veterans, addresses, and phone numbers in our area, and rededicating the recently restored World War I Doughboy Monument, as well as the Vietnam War Memorial. After research revealed that 3 names were missing, these monuments as well as our World War II and Korean War memorials, continue to remind and inspire future generations of the bravery and selflessness of Middletown veterans. As always, full of innovative ideas, Mr. Beauregard brought the Veterans Job Fair and the 50th Viet Nam Veterans Welcome Home Picnic to Middletown, and was a key contributor to the success of the Township Fallen Heroes Commemorative Street Sign Program, and to date, more than 50 signs have been added township-wide to pay tribute to Middletown veterans who were killed in action from World War I to present. He was also the driving force behind donating 17 POW MIA flags to our public schools and firehouses. A cause near and dear to Mr. Beauregard's heart has been the VVA Chapter 12 Veterans Cremations Project, and this meaningful program brings honorably discharged unclaimed veteran remains that have sat abandoned on funeral home shelves to their final resting place with a proper military burial, and this project also includes the unclaimed spouses of veterans. Mr. Beauregard has spent decades generously donating his time, energy, and resources whenever he is called to service. And there is a reason why everyone refers to him as the Colonel. And that's because he's getting things done. The Township Committee is honored to have this opportunity to recognize Dennis Beauregard for his unwavering commitment to Middletown Township, his fellow veterans, his faithful community. Mind Spirit continues to pave a pathway for those who should and never will be forgotten. And we are fortunate to have such a dedicated, reliable, and talented individual as one of Middletown's own. Presented on this, the 21st day of January 2020. Colonel. Here, you guys take this. No problem.
No, I can't see the Laura. I'm sorry. Everybody has to see.
You're too big, scooch over.
I'm sorry. Need a stool.
Dennis, congratulations.
Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have a public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first public hearing will be held on Ordinance 2020-3278, an ordinance approving entry into a contract of purchase for real property identified as Block 502, Lots 1 and 7, 37 to 45 Leonardville Road, for the provision of 100% affordable housing for income-eligible veterans.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2020-3278? Mr. Watson.
Good evening, my name is Don Watson, living at 1 Collins Drive. I'd like to thank the Township Committee for recognizing the need for housing for veterans. Well deserved and well needed. The site that you're selecting, I'm not sure if you're aware, was a hazardous waste site. Okay.
We have received from the Department of Environmental Protection a no further action letter.
So it's been cleaned up?
It has been cleaned up.
It has dissipated?
Yes, the letter dated, was, I believe John Warzone was the governor at the time the letter was issued. So pre-2009, we had received and the current owner has provided us a copy of that. We've worked with the Department of Environmental Protection to ensure, and we'll obviously do the proper due diligence to, on all the other environmental aspects of that piece of property, wetlands, delineation, things of that nature.
Right. I appreciate that. I wasn't made aware of that.
I was right there with you, Don. I was the first go, so I saw that.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys did some due diligence on that. And I'm glad to see that Shell gas station is finally getting some use out of it. And sitting there and, weeds are growing up through the blacktop.
Yeah. We're all really happy to see this project come to fruition, especially for 100% for veterans.
It was a good discussion under the road in Belford.
Yeah.
Looks like everything else is moving along pretty good there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other member of the public wishing to make? Yes, Carmen, come on down.
My name is Carmen Peterson. I'm from Port Monmouth. As the president of the auxiliary for the Department of New Jersey, I'm a veterans advocate. I'm also an Army brat. My father served in World War II, Korea, and Viet Nam, so he was in there for almost 30 years. Housing for our veterans is very important, especially those with low income. It's a shame that a country like this lets our veterans stay homeless and out in the streets, so I'm very happy that we're doing this. And I'm also glad that I'm going to be part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Any other member of the public wishing to speak? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Tybell.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next ordinance for public hearing, we have ordinance 2020-3280, an ordinance amending authorized membership of the Middletown Economic Development Board.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2020-3280? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Tybell.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have introduction of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance, 2020-3281, an ordinance amending Chapter 465-110 of the Code of the Township of Middletown, reducing the speed limit on Sunnyside Rd in Lincroft.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Committeeman Tybell.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held February 3rd, 2020. Our next ordinance for introduction, we have 2020-3282, an ordinance establishing Sunnyside Rd in Lincroft section as a through street.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Tybell.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held February 3rd, 2020. Our next ordinance for introduction, we have 2020-3283, Normandy Park parking and traffic regulations.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Tybell.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held February 18, 2020. Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have the consent agenda, which would include resolutions 20-40 through 20-55, including bingo and raffle applications.
Motion to approve.
Committeeman Hybel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the consent agenda. At this time, we have Township Committee comments.
Committeeman Hybel.
Starting it off, we're an amazing meeting so far. We had a lot of great stuff, so I want to thank everyone. Mr. Clancy, I think he left. I spoke to him the day after. What a great guy. He didn't want to take any credit for what he did. It was just an amazing act of being a great neighbor. So great job. Dennis Beauregard, he always gets us when we sit down with us. He's got 1,001 ideas when we work, so he does a great job for us. Last, I just wanted to, which the ordinance be approved tonight for veterans housing on Lincroft Road. Like Mr. Watson said, this property has been an eyesore since I've been a young kid, looking across from Carvel over there. This is a big thing and a great thing for this town, so I'm excited to see this happening. That's all.
Thank you. Committeewoman Snell.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, I would also like to thank Mr. Clancy for his quick action and bravery in saving his neighbor. We sure all have such good neighbors. Also, Mr. Beauregard, who I've gotten to know quite well since being on the committee, genuinely such a good person. Distinguished Citizen of the Year almost doesn't sound good enough for what he does. But I do want to thank him also for his tireless work to advocate for our veterans, because we all know they deserve that and much more. And it's just good to be back on board doing some good things for the people of Middletown again. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Sedambrino.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to also echo the sentiments of Committeeman Hybel and Committeewoman Snell with congratulations to Mr. Clancy and Mr. Beauregard. These are the type of individuals that continue to make Middletown one of the best places to live in the state and the country. That's all I have tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I think my colleague said it very well on Mr. Clancy and Mr. Beauregard. Congratulations to them both. Just a tremendous act of bravery by Mr. Clancy. And Mr. Beauregard is everything you would want in a Veterans Affairs advocate. He really is a tireless worker, as is his committee. And he's helped bring such great ideas and enthusiasm to this township, which dovetails into, as mentioned by my colleagues, the property on Underhill Road. I think this is, there are many things we do as committee members. This is one that I think is tremendously gratifying, not just because it's a piece of property which, knock on wood, was given a clean bill of health, even though we may not have believed that years ago, and I'm one of those people, until I saw the letter. But something that we as a community have the ability to help our veterans, especially as they age. New Jersey is not an easy place to afford as you age, and we understand our seniors and our veterans, and I think this can have a tremendous impact to keep them here, to keep them within our municipality. And look, I think we get a bad rap about affordable housing, but we're not opposed to affordable housing. We're for affordable housing, especially when it makes great sense. And that is the perfect location in the middle of transportation. There's a bus stop close. You can walk to stores, a Rite Aid, a Carvel, if you want some ice cream. Just a tremendous location that I think will be a great spot for those who sacrificed so very much for this community and our country. And I'm very proud to stand by that. So thank you, Mayor. That's all my comments this evening.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'll echo all the comments. I've said enough tonight. Those two fine men represent this town in everything you would want in a citizen, in a resident, and as an American. So I'll once again thank them for everything that they did. Before I open up the public comments, I will just like to remind you, I know this is really the first night meeting of the year, but we are asking you, any member of the public wishing to make a public comment, please keep your comments to 5 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. And at 4 minutes, I'll let you know that you have 1 minute left, and if you could begin to wrap up your comments, it would be most appreciated. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment? You made me go through all that and not one? Are you kidding me? Don's shaking his head yes and no, huh? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close public portion and adjourn.
Committeeman Kyle.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Fiore.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes, have a good night, everybody.